If you find yourself having trouble winning ranked games, this is the perfect video for you. I'm going to go through my gameplay and show you my thought process and how I win every ranked game effortlessly. I will also show you my opponent's perspectives to show you what not to do. Alright, so the first thing is off spawn, and in off spawn you want to make sure that you are fully prepared to fight. In this instance, I landed on a high area that usually isn't contested, and people were still gliding into the main POI, so I just decided to start shooting at people in the air. As you can see, I pick up one kill after missing a lot of shots, and pick up another kill slightly after. Then I hear footsteps and a player was pressuring me from below, so I took the risky move of just jumping in his face and spraying with my AR. Luckily, this dude had the aim of a moldy block of cheese, so I just missed a lot of my shots and hit very few, but somehow managed to clean up that kill. After that fight, I decided to loot up and prepare myself for the next fight. I got mats, full shield, and enough ammo for multiple fights. Here I am gliding into the POI, and I see that a player just got done with his fight, which is the perfect time to push and apply pressure. He ended up messing up, and I took the advantage of that and full boxed him. Now, here I made the wrong edit, which made me take damage, but I still got the kill. Right after that, I was healing out in the open, which I recommend not to do, because here I get beamed, but I react quick enough to absolutely catch him off guard and fry him. He then tries to run, but you know your boy Flo had to go capitalize on that damage, and I ended up taking a small fight, which ultimately ended his life. Later in the game, I hear shooting in a certain direction, and I head towards it. Using your sound cues is so important in the game, and here's why. As you can see, I found that the kid was shooting, and he was boxed up. Now, players that are boxed up usually just got done with a fight or are scared to fight unless it is later game scenarios. But this kid was obviously scared to fight because I just applied enough pressure onto him to the point that he got scared, and I could use that to my advantage and get in his box, full him, scare him, and then 200 pump him. Now, if you're trying to get as many kills as possible, you want to go towards monuments in the game. As you can see, I went towards the storm tower to collect the card and know where the next zones were pulling. And as you can see, another player had the same bright idea. However, he didn't see me, and so I could just beam him. And I swear this dude was brain dead because his reaction time was slower than molasses. But as you will see in this video, especially during hit scan seasons, most kills or most of your damage will be due to straight up beams. Because if you aim on them, your bullet is going to hit them. Now, for this season especially, the map is really big, which means finding the last 30 or so players is going to be a lot harder than usual. As you can see, for about 3 minutes of my game right here, I was just going around the map looking for someone to fight. Even in higher level lobbies, the map is almost just as dead, as well as a lot of players are just hiding and camping placement because it is easier to do than go kill people. And as you can see, as soon as I find someone, I try and get a little beam, which I do, but right here is the thing that you should never do in your ranked games. As you can see, we are on our opponent's perspective, and after I hit him, all he is focused on is trying and breaking that slurp truck. Now, this isn't very smart at all. It shouldn't be the main priority on his mind. He should have tried to peek me and get some damage on me so that he can reset and grab the slurp truck. But he doesn't do that. And as you can see, I get some more damage on him and then he grabs a car and just leaves, which is another mistake because he doesn't just keep going. He ends up stopping not too far from me, which is the dumbest thing he could do, because now I'm at a health advantage while he is stuck in a corner of a building trying to figure out how to beat me or how to heal. As you can see, all it takes is a little pressure once again to make him mess up and put me at the advantage, as I can just take his wall and cone and replace it with mine, making it so I can do anything to him without him being able to do anything back, which is just what I do and pick up another easy and free kill. Now, once again, another opponent tried to catch me off guard, but I saw him right before he could do anything. This is why I always say to make sure you are checking your surroundings at all times, even during or after your fights. Luckily, I got a good beam on this player and he decided that it was the best option to drive away, which he did escape, but that doesn't mean he will be alive for long. So while I was looking for that other player, I found this kid just running in the open, and once again, this is going to be a prime example of what not to do in your ranked matches. Well, first of all, this player thought I didn't see him even though I was going right towards him. What he should have done was either build up to get high ground or try to get some entry damage on me. And of course, I realize that he isn't doing this, so I hop out and get some good shots off while he's just running around in my builds, instead of building himself and trying to get some damage or peace on me. After I get enough damage on this player, he decided to get in my car and try and drive away, but I popped his tire so he eventually just got out. He then started looking for me instead of building and healing, so I just teleported right on him and just hit him with a quick pump shot. There's so much more he could have done to preserve his life or even outplay me, but once again, decided to panic and get away. And I see this with all Fortnite players. They always get super impatient and that is why they don't know when to reset or restart how they play. I then once again start rotating around the map to find some players, and I rotate through the center of the map so that I can get more fights and more kills. Now, if you're looking to not get kills and just to stay alive, you would want to rotate on the outside parts of the map, or also known as the dead sides. Now, as I was rotating, I noticed that a kid had just gotten done with his fight, and now he was in the car trying to rotate. So I hopped in his car and get some opening damage to secure my health advantage. He then got out and tried to get damage on me, but he failed. After that, he boxed up. And once again, never do what this kid does in your ranked matches. First of all, once I started pushing him when he was boxed up, he should have started to create more space to give him an advantage with pre-piece and or so he could heal up and reset this fight. And once again, I took his wall and stair and used them against him. What he could have done in that situation was edit out of the box and try to create more space, but he didn't, and that was the downfall of this player. Now, in most of these POVs, I show you that my opponents and the main thing that they forget to do in the middle of a fight is change and create space and use pre-piece. And once again, if they had done that, they could have outplayed me and even won the fight. And then once again, I start rotating in the car as these are the final players, so I might as well end the game as quick as possible. And when rotating, I found this player that also is another prime example of what not to do in your ranked matches. So, as you can see, we are in our opponent's perspective, and the first thing he does wrong is shoot at me while I'm in the car after I pass him. He should have built up and then started shooting. Then, once I come to fight him, he just builds, but not in the correct spots, so it's another free piece. And once he was in the box, he didn't edit or even try to escape out and create space, and so I just hit him with 2 quick shots and ended this fight so quick that it doesn't even leave room for a third party to happen. Okay, so these last fights aren't the cleanest fights, but there are good things you can pick up from these fights. For example, in this first fight, I got the full piece and get some good damage off on my opponent. However, after I get the good damage, I make the mistake of making the same edit once again. This allows him to get damage on me, which puts at an equal advantage except for the fact that I have the wall and the stair. And once again, here I do something super risky, but I get the kill and clean up that fight pretty easy. And this is something that I will tell you all multiple times, is sometimes you have to risk stuff, because if you always play too cautious, you can get caught off guard super easy, and sometimes the risks can be game changing and ultimately put the game in your favor. Now, this next fight was a long one, and this person just kept spraying at me and kept tagging me. So as soon as I got the chance to fire back, I did. And just like that, I got a lot of damage on him, and I decided to push him, but he ran away. While looking for him though, he got another slight beam on me, but I found where he was, so I got some damage back, and this went back and forth for a little while until zone started pulling in. And here I see that he threw his Oni mask orb, and so I threw mine right on top of his so I could catch him off guard if he tries to run again. So while I was rotating his zone, I saw him push out, so I started shooting at him, and I got some tags. He then teleported, which I predicted, and got another free kill. Now, these last 2 fights are the worst, and I probably played them horribly, but at this point I was ready to be done with this game, so I went all for nothing. The fight against this kid who has the sword, and that is the only thing he was using, so I decided to move around a lot so that it would be harder for him to hit me with it, and what do you know, it actually worked. I got a beam on him and cleaned up that fight. But now I was really scared, I was low and didn't have much heals, so I was hoping that my next opponent wouldn't be a tier 1 pro. And by golly did I get lucky. This dude somehow made it to the top 2, and this dude had the reaction time and aim of the 2 kids I dogged on. Bro was aiming at the stars on everything, and his reaction time was somehow slower than my grandma falling down the stairs. But anyways, I clean up that fight, get a free win, and you guys want to know how to fight like a pro in chapter 6, click on this video. And if you guys want to support me, use my code NOTFLOW in the Fortnite item shop, #ad, #epicpartner, and at 500 people using it, I'm giving away a battle pass. Also, please like and subscribe as these videos take a lot of time. I love you all and your support. Peace, guys.